Ain't no sunshine. Whoa. What's up, YouTube? Your boy Thrift Ninja back. Yeah, I'm gonna do another quick video of work, dinner, thrift, repeat. Yeah, just got off work. I'm gonna head to the wife suggested Rudy's barbecue, and I think we're gonna do loaded baked potatoes with Rudy's smoked turkey on top, and then yeah, then I'll hit the thrift store, Goodwill, and I'm gonna try to find one item. I'm gonna try to see how disciplined I can be. Can I just go into Goodwill amongst all the merchandise they have and find one item that'll make my day? Let's see if we can do it. Again, got that delicious goodness buckled in for safety. About to bust up in this Goodwill.
So here's the options. A Mr. Christmas Advent Calendar for 12 bucks. Sells for about $49.99. A vintage Atlanta Braves Majestic jersey. Sells for about $34.99. Pass. An RCA VCR. Sells for about 40 bucks. For this Sony Dream Machine. And what, 8 bucks for this? 8 bucks for this. $3.25 for this. And 12 for this. So I think we're gonna go with this.
Alright, so I did end up buying the jersey, but this is where my discipline is a problem, because at the register they had items that were set aside that customers had changed their mind, and I saw a pair of women's Roxy ski pants, and those are usually, I don't know, 40-50 bucks used if it's in condition. And yeah, I almost put the jersey back and got that instead, but the difference was the jersey was $3 and $3.25 I think, and the pants were $9. Though I could have made a good profit on the pants still. Yeah, the video was all about getting one item, so I decided to stick with it. And yeah, discipline. Now on to Chick-fil-A to get my lunch for tomorrow. I've already got the Rudy's buckled in, and yeah, time to call it a night. See you next time. Okay guys, so here's the one item that I ended up picking. Yeah, so it may not look like much, just a random jersey, but it's vintage. It's from the 90s. Majestic 2XL. I paid, I guess it was $3.25, after tax $3.52. And I kind of want to use this item to show you guys the life cycle of an item that I get. So whenever I get home with an item, I take it straight to my office area or my workspace or wherever my laptop happens to be, and I have a spreadsheet, just a regular Excel spreadsheet. Anything will do. I've done it like this in the past, where I wrote everything down in a notebook. Now that's fine and dandy, except for finding things. You got to flip through papers, and here you can just like quick search and pull it right up. But anyways, here, let me pull you over here and I'll show you. Okay, so yeah, all I do is I have different columns. The first one's a description, so let's go vintage, Atlanta Braves, Majestic, mesh jersey, XXL, and then I enter in what I paid for it. So yeah, $3.52, and then here in this column is going to be what it sold for. On the next one, I'm going to put what it cost to ship it. This column is for insertion fees. So whenever I list it onto eBay, they'll charge me either 0 or 35 cents. Next is the final value fee that eBay charges once it sells, which is their 10%. And then this column is for the PayPal fees, whatever PayPal charges for the transaction. And the last column is the total profit. So all I do is I take this second column, so just say it was $34, then I would subtract the $3.52 that I have into it, subtract the shipping, subtract whatever the insertion fees were, subtract the final value fee, and subtract the PayPal fee, and on the right it's going to calculate what it had into it. You can set up a formula where it automatically does it for you, or you can just do it yourself. It's very important to keep records of your items that you're selling and buying, just because if you come across that item again, you'll know what it sold for. It's always important to know what your margins are, because ultimately, if you're going to grow or you're going to maintain, you need to know those numbers. And if you don't know those numbers, you're probably not going to do very well, and you're probably going to overspend, and you're probably going to accept best offers for items that say you paid $12 for an item and someone offers you $14, but you forgot you paid $12 for it. You're gonna have ended up paying to send that item to someone, and that's definitely not what you want to do. So, like I say, if I have an item and I purchased it for $12 and someone offers me $14 for it, I know automatically to reject that offer. It just makes sense. I know it's not rocket science, and I'm not the only one that knows how to do this, but maybe someone that watches my video, it'll help you out. And once I've done that, I don't have to take pictures of it immediately. It's just whenever I have time, but it's very important you have it documented, because a lot of times you'll buy a lot of stuff, set it in your garage or set it in your spare room, and it'll sit there. It can sit there for days, weeks, or months sometimes. And we call those death piles, because if you don't dig through those and actually get that stuff listed, it's just going to stress you out. Your spouse or significant other is just going to be stressed out. It's going to be clutter in your house, which is unnecessary. So get that stuff out of there. Put it in your inventory. And first chance you get photos of it. And again, my setup might be different than others, but I try to find, if it's clothing, I go get my bust that I got from Eddie Bauer, or if it's like something like this guy, I find the best background possible. For something like this, we have a marble island in our kitchen, and it's a really good, it's white and gray, and it does well for pictures. It's a good background. I find that if you're taking pictures of items and the background's going to show, make sure it's like plain or like preferably white, that it's not going to stand out. And they're just going to focus. You want people to focus on your item and not what's in the background. And then a nice clean background will help the item stand out, and a lot more people will be interested in your item. But anyways, again, so for this shirt, I will take it and I'll put it on my bust, and I have one of these lights. It's a mini halo light, or I don't know, what do you call them? Mini circle light. It's my halo. No. All right, and I have another. It's another circle light that I use, and I take it to a well lit room, and yeah, this just clips onto my phone. So I don't even know how much this costs. I got it for Christmas, and it came with some other stuff. But yeah, you can just have good lighting. That's really all it is. Yeah, so then I take the item, and this is actually in my garage, but let's see if I can show you my storage system. All right, so yeah, I've assembled this. I think it's a it's like a rubber shed. I don't remember the brand of it, but I got it at Home Depot. It's like supposed to be an outdoor shed. Anyways, yeah, there's all my clothing stuff. Let's see. That top bar is actually a shower curtain that I've installed. I used the brackets right here that you would install for like a closet rod. But yeah. Anyway, so, and I have it organized so this side is going to be jerseys, coats, and it goes hoodies, sweaters, like long sleeve collared shirts, long sleeve shirts, and then it goes t-shirts, and then this far side is like sleeveless and tank top. And underneath, I know it looks like a mess right now, but each box is its own item. That bag right there is actually clothes that I need to hang. But yeah, so there's a box in here, and it's going to be just like home decor. This top box is like media, books. And then behind that, there's another box. This thing's actually kind of deep. But behind that, there's a box that has shoes, hats, and men's accessories. This front box underneath here is going to be like electronics. And the box in the back right corner is going to be like toys and games. So anyways, I'll get this item, this shirt, I'll put it on a hanger, hang it in there next to the jerseys, so whenever someone purchases the item, I'll know exactly where to go. You can see on top that I have the cases of my padded envelopes, and something that my wife really hates is I have a box wall that's just boxes and packing supplies, but you can see it's like stuff that we already had. So we have Blue Apron that comes every week. We have stuff that she's ordered here from like Payless and Target things and diapers. We have that on automatic ship for our kid. Like this is a box our dog food came in. These are envelopes, padded envelopes from other things we've ordered. But yeah, I don't have to go dumpster diving. All the boxes are already here. So like this was a box that like my kid's Go-Gurt came out of. But if you look on the inside of a box like this, it's completely white. So what I'll do is I will carefully disassemble the entire box, turn it inside out, tape it back up, and it's a perfect clean white box. And then you put your shipping label on that, and it looks clean as can be. And yeah, it's a good way to recycle. But don't be discouraged if you don't have some of the same stuff that I do. I know mine's pretty low scale. Some of the bigger resellers out there have like warehouses and storage units. But yeah, I don't really devote that much of my focus on this. Again, it's like a part-time little side hustle. It's a hobby. I really enjoy doing it. But so like if you don't have that storage supply shed that I do, again, I think I paid $1.99 for it on Black Friday. But yeah, just pick out a section in your house, your garage, that only this stuff is going to go, and no one expects it, anything else to be in that area. So you're not just like overwhelming yourself with, it's going to end up feeling like clutter to you. So make sure you just designate an area just for this stuff, so it doesn't bleed into your everyday life. And if you don't have a bus to take clothing pictures, you could always get a hanger, hang it up against the wall. You could lay the shirt flat on the ground. Again, it's all about the background. And really on clothing, the picture doesn't have to be that great. It's on the description. Just don't make a terrible picture. Just make it where they can see the features of an item. So like if you're taking a picture of the shirt, you want to highlight this decal. I mean, the description is going to tell the rest, like men's size medium, the North Face shirt, short sleeve shirt. And people are going to type that in, and your shirt's going to pull up. And they're going to see this logo and say, hey, that's a cool logo. I want to buy that. yeah, so I made this entire video, and I almost forgot the most important part, which was listing the item, which is why you see the quick costume change. So actually it's the next day, but I think I'm just going to throw this in the middle. But anyways, so whenever I have the item, I've taken the pictures, I go into eBay, and I get up in the search bar, and I type in the description of my item. So in this case it would be Majestic Atlanta Braves jersey, and I scroll and I look for similar items that are listed right now. I go to the filter and I sort down to completed sold listings, and yeah, I find the best similar listing as far as price and description. I kind of figure out, okay, this one had a better description than the other one, this one has a better price than the other one, and yeah, so I make sure it's in the right category, and I go into an existing listing or one that's already sold, and I click sell similar item. Or, I mean, you could do create new listing yourself and start from scratch, but whenever I'm listing lots of items, I typically am trying to do it in a hurry, and seems to be the fastest method for me, is selling similar item. And so I go in there, I remove their pictures, and I add my own. And then I go down to the title or description of the item, and I type in or adjust their description. So I might change the size. I might add a keyword here like mesh or batting shirt, just warm up, something like that, to just add another keyword to the description. And I try to typically use all 80 characters. Nothing like adding exclamation points or dashes or anything. I try to typically use letters and go from there. So then I go down to make sure that the this item specifics are correct. So make sure it's the right color, make sure it's the right size, make sure it's the right brand. If there's anything different or specific or special about the item, I'll list it in there. And then I go down to item description. And typically I don't put a lot in the item description because people tend to not read those. That's my experience. They more or less just look at the photos and go from there. So if there's something that's really off about the item or damaged or something that needs to be addressed, in the title, a lot of times I have to put please read or read in capital letters so that someone will at least maybe take the chance and look at a picture closer or read the description. So then I go down to the shipping, and no, I do shipping last, but I go to pricing and I adjust the price to buy it now. That seems to do best for me. You could do auction or auction plus buy it now, or buy it now or best offer, or any combination you like. For myself, I prefer to do buy it now or best offer, and I set my best offer down to 0 because I'll take any and all offers, see who's interested. If people are giving me offers well below, then I know my item is priced incorrectly. So that kind of gives me a good idea whenever the auction gets past its 30-day cycle to know what to reprice it at, or I can lower the price anytime I'd like. But then I go down to shipping. I like to do free shipping for everything. It just makes it a little bit easier for the customer to, when they sort by lowest price, because that's what most customers do, because default is best match, and then usually customers go in there and sort it to in the filters to lowest price plus shipping. And so I just one flat rate, and yeah, I adjust the shipping down to 0. I build the shipping somewhat into the price so that I'm still covered, but it's still like the lowest priced item. And then, yeah, there you go. I list the item and we go from there. Okay, so shipping the item. It's very important, especially the more fragile the item, that you pack it like super well with care. If it's a fragile item, wrap it with paper, wrap it with the foam sheets, put it in a bag, put bubble wrap in there, whatever you can do, peanuts, all that stuff is very important on fragile items. Anything else that's like clothing, one of these. So again, I've said this before, this fits almost every like shirt there is, most pants. This is a size 5 bubble mailer. But you don't have, it doesn't have to, like with clothing, it doesn't have to be bubble. It's just I have a lot of these. They can just be the plain envelopes with no padding, the poly bags. Just, again, what I do is, wow, something else just sold. Looks like a scarf for 25 bucks. Good deal. Paid $3 for it. But anyways, I fold it up real nice. And so I go over here to where the item sold. I click more actions and view order details. Okay, so then this pops up, and then I go to printer friendly page. And this is the page that I print. So I'm covering up the person's address and name, that way, I don't know, I don't want get anybody in trouble. Then when I print it out, I personalize it. I usually just thank them for the purchase and ask them to leave positive feedback, and let them know that I'll do the same, and scribble a little signature on there. Yeah, feedback is very important. So, the higher your seller feedback is, the more likely someone's going to purchase for you, especially if it's comparing one seller to the other. If someone has the same item as you and they have a better feedback than you, I'm probably going to buy, if I'm a customer, I'm going to buy from the guy that has a better feedback percentage. So anyways, moving on. So like I said, I fold up the shirt. Well, that's not very folded, but I fold it up real nice and neat. And then I take the order detail sheet and I'll tuck it inside the shirt so they actually have to kind of look at it when I pull it out instead of just skipping over it. And once it's in there, I fold it over smaller and I put it inside the envelope. So again, I try to make the envelope as small as I can, but not too small because I still want to apply the shipping label. But I try to make it, when I fold it over, I try to focus a lot on straight corners and make it just a very presentable package. I mean, it's going to get beat up on the way from my house to their house, but I don't want to send out an ugly package. It's just, people don't like that. I just want to look like it's been handled with care. So again, and sometimes with these, the adhesive isn't very good. I've been lucky with this batch and they stick very well. But yeah, if you're not comfortable with it, take some packing tape, cut off a little strip, and apply it here. Make sure you rub it in with your fingers. The warmth of your hand will activate the adhesive. So then I take the item, and I have a scale and like a weight, like to weigh yourself. I'm really wanting to get a postage scale, but yeah, I actually saw one at a thrift store and I was gonna buy it, and I don't know. I regret not buying it. So I still use my scale that I weigh myself with. So let me go weigh this. I'll be right back. Yeah, so it came back a ½ pound, and if you are gonna ship it, USPS wants you to do it in ounces. So it's pounds then ounces. So a ½ pound is 8 ounces and a whole pound is 16 ounces. So this package weighs 8 ounces, and so whenever I go to ship this, I enter in 8 ounces, and I'll show you. Next, I go to print shipping label. Down here in the bottom, you can adjust what something weighs. So it weighs 8 ounces. And then you're going to want to measure the package. So for that, I have this. This is very important to have because people all the time will ask you, well, how big is this? How big is that? This size large shirt, what does it pit to pit? What is it, you know, what are the dimensions of this item? So you're constantly needing to measure things. So anyways, measure it every which way, long ways, this way, width, and thickness. So this is going to be I'll show you entering it in right now. So this is going to be 11 by 6 by 1. So then I update it, and up here in the corner it's going to tell me first class, $3.36. I can purchase and print the label if I'm not happy with that service or I want to upgrade. eBay has a feature down here that you can compare all services. So if you had the flat rate envelopes, they're listed here, all the way down. Every mailing option is available. USPS is the one I use mainly. But yeah, anyways, so purchase and print label. And it usually brings up a PayPal option to pay. So then I type in my password. Then you just go to Pay Now. And it'll ask you which way you want it to face. I like it this way. Again, if you do it the other way, it's pretty much the same thing, but that's just the default. I print it. And this paper, it's pretty thin. It's multi-purpose paper that I got from the dollar store. I think it was like 100 sheets for $1. So this usually lasts me a while. Anyways, so yeah, I'll cut it in half and we'll apply it to the package. Okay, so there I have it, applied to my package. Yeah, so I just tape all 4 sides, pretty simple. And something this size, you can probably put in your mailbox, put your red flag up, and the mailman will come get it. Or if you know what time your mailman comes, you can just meet him outside, hand it to him. When I take my kids to school, there's a post office on the way, so I actually just conveniently am able to drop mine off. But yeah, so that's it. If you guys have any more questions or suggestions, again, this is the most efficient way for me to do it. You guys may have better methods out there. This is just this is what works for me. So I wish I had more space, but I don't, and a lot of you guys probably don't either. And you don't have the ability to expand. Yeah, so the last thing I want to do is intrude on my family space with all this stuff. My wife supports me. My kids actually enjoy doing this as well. They say that whenever we find something and we sell it, that we're finding it a new home. And that's true. But to me, it's very important, like I say, not to intrude on them with this stuff. I don't want my kids to grow up in a cluttered house. I don't want to be in a cluttered house. My wife definitely doesn't want to have a cluttered house. So the space I have allocated with that shed, yeah, I'm going to pack that as much as I can, full with merchandise. And once it's full, then that's my inventory. I'm not going to get any more. Even though I love and I enjoy doing it, yeah, if it's full, I'm not going to get any more. And to make space, I'll drop my prices on my items on eBay, or I'll have a garage sale, or I'll take all the dead stock and just donate it. So yeah, there's ways to clear it out. I definitely don't want to have any time where I'm not going thrifting or garage selling, because I I think it's very enjoyable for myself. But yeah, let me know if there's any other questions you have. Like I say, subscribe, check out my other videos, and yeah, give me some feedback. I'd like to have some. See you next time.